Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna finally put it to rest this debate between white labeling and private labeling. Which one is better, especially in the context of selling products on Amazon? If you wanna know which option is better for your business and which one I recommend after being an Amazon seller for 7.5 years, I'm gonna tell you, but before we do that, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel if you haven't already, and let's get into the topic of today's video. Before I can explain to you which one is better for private label, we have to understand what the difference is between whitelisting or white labeling products and private labeling products. When you are white labeling a product, you are not actually labeling anything, so it's a little bit misleading as a word because it makes it seem as though there is something extra that is being added to the product. In reality, when it comes to white labeling a product, you are selling the generic product as it's produced in mass from the manufacturer. So you are not customizing the product, you are not adding your own labeling, branding, brand name, logo, design. You're not adding anything new to the product. You are literally purchasing it in bulk from the supplier, and whatever way they make it is the way that you are selling it. So you are truly just being a third-party mediator. You're purchasing the products and you are selling them as you receive them. So that is going to make for a business that is very, very easy to copy, and we're going to get a little bit more into that, but that is what white labeling is. Now on the other side of that, you have private labeling, where yes, you are purchasing these products in bulk from a supplier in China, most likely, maybe elsewhere, but China primarily for Amazon, and you are having that product differentiated in some way. And when I say differentiating a product, what I mean by that is you are making the product better in some way. You are adding a feature, you are changing the material that's being used, you are creating a bundle to where the customer feels as though they are getting a better value for what they are spending. You are differentiating it, you are customizing it in some way. Now, are you reinventing the wheel and creating a whole new, unique invention? No, you're not. You are still selling the same thing that other people are selling, you're just selling a better version. That way you can be competitive and you can have a product that customers actually want to give a chance to. So we are not duplicating what other people are selling, we are making small improvements in order to make it a better overall offer for the customer. Now, the simplest and most important way that you can differentiate your product is by adding your own logo to that product. Right off of the bat, that makes it more unique, it makes it more valuable to the customer for the simple fact that you have a logo on there, regardless of what that logo looks like, what colors you use, or anything that has to do aesthetically with the logo. Just the simple fact of you having one will already make you seem as though you have a better product than one that is just generic, like what it would be if you were white labeling a product. So you are doing that, you're adding in your differentiator, and then you are selling that product under your own Amazon brand or your own private label brand. So with that being said, you are not going to be spending tremendous amounts of time or money on your differentiator, but they should be things that are significant enough that it will make a difference to the customer and make them more excited to purchase yours over your competitors. One very important thing that I want to mention that I've kind of alluded to is that when you have your logo on your private labeled item, because it's going to look more valuable to the customer, that is going to justify a higher selling price than if you were to white label a product. People want to feel like they know where the products are coming from, regardless of where that is. So having a made in China, made in Vietnam, made in the Philippines, made in the USA is going to give that consumer more peace of mind in knowing where the product was actually made. It's not going to be a deal breaker, it's not going to be the end of the world, but when you are doing nothing to increase the perceived value of an item, when you're doing white labeling and you're just purchasing it and turning around and selling it as is, the customer is going to know that this product does not have as much value as another one where those extra steps were taken. It is not hard to have your label added to your products. It's actually very easy to do it. All you need is to have a logo done, and you can DIY a logo, you can use AI for a logo, you can use Canva for a logo, you can hire someone on Fiverr to create and design one for you. So there are so many ways that you can have a logo done for an extremely cheap price or for free if you're nifty, and that is the extent of the work work it's going to take for you. The other part of that, which is having that logo attached to the product itself or to the packaging that the product comes in, is going to fall on your supplier. That's their problem. So it's not that hard to do it. You should 100% always be labeling these items so that you can have more longevity with your Amazon business and while you are selling that item. I want you to think about when you are shopping in store, and if you're anything like me, you probably don't do it that often. Maybe you do, it just depends on the person. But for me personally, I love Instacart. I love having my things delivered. I buy everything online. And so it's gonna be very rare that you see me inside of a store shopping for things. But in the rare occasion that I do, I'm always seeing these random brands. And I'm not really paying attention to them as a consumer, but you would know and it would stick out to you if you were to see an item that had no branding on it. Imagine that you are in the store looking for a baby doll. Maybe you're a parent, maybe you have a niece or a nephew, a friend's child that you care about and it's their birthday. And you go to the store and you're looking at baby dolls, and on this one specific baby doll, there is no branding. It's just a cute doll. Nothing is on there. You don't know where it came from. The doll doesn't have a name. There's nothing unique about it compared to another doll. Let's just say it's a Barbie doll where it's telling you it's Barbie. They are doing the branding. They're actually making it look compelling and exciting. You're probably going to lean towards the one that is branded because the branding is where the value comes in. That's what makes people feel like, okay, this is worth my money. That's why the average person who owns a Stanley Cup is not thinking about the fact that a Stanley costs $2 to make from a supplier, but they purchased it for $39.99. They're not thinking about it because all they care about in that moment is getting their water bottle and knowing that it is a brand that they recognize, a brand that is known for high quality. Same thing with iPhones or designer bags or designer jewelry. You're paying for the name, you're paying for the logo, and as much as sometimes we don't want to admit that that can have a heavy impact on the things that we buy, it is human nature. You assign value to things based off of a number of different factors. And logos, branding, marketing is something that is constantly happening to us, whether we acknowledge it or not, whether we recognize it or not. We are always being conditioned for certain behaviors and certain purchases. So that's something that we can spend a lot of time talking about, going into the psychology of it all and the true intentions behind marketing. Just know that whether you realize it or not, having brands and logos and ways to identify items is important to the mindset of being willing and able to purchase these items. So now the big question is, what is better for Amazon FBA? And if you haven't guessed it already, private label is the way to go. Whitelisting your items on Amazon and thinking, okay, I'm just gonna go buy something quick off Alibaba. I'm not going to change anything about it. I'm not gonna put my logo on there. I'm just gonna have it sent in. Yeah, to be honest, you might be able to make a quick buck. You might be able to make a couple $100 or $1,000 or something like that, but you're not going to have longevity when it comes to this business. And if you're going to do the work anyway of having a product made, why not do it in the way that's gonna really help you maximize on the amount of money that you can make with that product? Why take a shortcut and not put your logo on there, not try to differentiate it, launch the product, and then realize that there are a bunch of other copies of the exact same thing that you're selling? It's going to limit your income. It's going to limit how well your product actually performs over time. So right off of the bat, it's a no-go to do the white labeling. Another thing is not being able to price your product competitively. Other people who go through the extra steps and the extra effort, which is very minimal, but still the extra effort to label their products, are going to look like they're worth more money. And it all comes down to perception. The value of a product is whatever someone is willing to pay for it. So you have to think about, well, what's important for that person or that customer, consumer who's going to be purchasing this product. And logos is an important part of that. Branding is an important part of that. So skipping over it is just doing yourself and your business a huge disservice. And last but not least, with the thought process of having something with longevity, when you are building a brand, you are building an asset. And this is something that is so incredibly important that people don't consider, because in the early stages, you're not thinking about what's going to happen a year from now, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, all the time. Sometimes it's, how can I make as much money as possible right this second, or within the next 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, which I completely understand. We live in a world where you're able to get things quickly. It's very convenient. I mean, Amazon makes things convenient for us, right? We can just order things and within the same day, next day, 2 days, you're gonna have your thing delivered right to your doorstep. That's very, very satisfying. However, you have to remember with this, you are building a business, and what you want is to be able to sustain yourself off of what you're making from Amazon. You want to be able to know you'll have some form of consistency with the amount of money that you're making. So when it comes to building a brand, that is a really great way to stabilize your income, because a brand is going to be able to attract more customers. It's going to look more legitimate. It's going to look as something that people will begin to trust. You'll have a reputation for your brand. You'll have repeat customers. You might have some word of mouth marketing going on when you do a good job with your branding. So think about the brands that do really well in the world, the ones that really stand out. So something like Disney, you know what Disney's about. It's family friendly. It's all about having wholesome values and morals. That's what you think of when you think of Disney. When you think of a brand like Kellogg, oh, they make cereals and food that you'll have in your pantry, and that is kind of family friendly to a certain extent, right? You're going to have other brands that are more about excitement, something like Nike, Just Do It. It's about the athleticism of it all, endurance, discipline, and getting things done. And then you have a brand like Apple. It's all about being futuristic and innovative and creative and da-da-da. So branding is going to give you a certain feeling about a company, and that's what they want. They want you to feel attracted to their branding because of the story behind the brand. And that's not something that happens overnight. That's not something that happens in a day. It's something that is built. So with that being said, you want to think about, what is this brand going to be? What do I want the customer to feel when they're shopping with my brand? If it's a baby brand, I want them to feel like it's safe. I want it to feel cozy and harmless and cute because it's a baby product that I'm selling, or whatever the case is. Maybe your brand is all about beauty and aesthetics. Well, you want to give your customer that feeling of luxury, or the fact that it is nice to look at, whatever the case is. So that is something to keep in mind. And so kind of where I'm going with all of this is, down the line, when you are done selling on Amazon, or you want to move on to a different business venture or something like that, you would be able to sell your brand. Now, selling a brand is something that happens all the time. Lots of people are willing and able to purchase brands from other people because they don't want to do the legwork. They don't want to be the ones to create that story, to create that consistency, and kind of build a customer base of people who actually want the product. So rather than doing that, they would much rather pay you a couple tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, dare I say millions of dollars for your brand, of course, depending on how it performs. So with that being said, it is a very, very nice way to look at the effort that you're putting in now, that not only will you be able to make money selling your products now, but later on down the line, you'll also be able to benefit tenfold by being able to sell your brand to someone else at the end of the day. So these are all reasons and justifications for doing the private label route, on top of the fact that you'll be able to choose your own pricing, market the product the way that you want, design it the way that you want, so it appeals to the customers that you're trying to reach. It gives you a lot of agency and a lot of room to do what you want and build the brand that you're envisioning. So you get a lot of control over the items themselves, which is something that's really important to the long-term success of your business. I'm hoping that explanation helps you to understand more why it is so important to take the extra precautions and extra steps to actually go ahead and private label your Amazon items for sale, instead of just going the lazy way and whitelisting it and throwing something lazy up that anybody else will be able to copy. Make your offer unique, make it compelling, make it look valuable to the customer, and you won't regret it. Your product will do much better than if you were to completely forego that and just do it the quick, easy way. So with that being said, I hope that that helps you as you're going through your process of picking and launching your first product on Amazon. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. And remember that if you are wanting to sell on Amazon and you don't know where to start, I do also offer a free training where I walk you through the different steps of Amazon selling so that you can go ahead and get started today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.